All right, we have our warmth here for sure. Temperatures in the upper 80s, feeling like lower 90s. No cool weather, no fall weather in sight, but also it could be worse weather. And a lot of people are saying, hey, we'll take the heat over a hurricane this time of year. And we have zero tropical threats at this point, although we do have one spot way out there that might develop late this week. I'll show you in a second. Variable winds right now, but mostly from the north. Temperatures in the 80s to about 90. Mandeville and Bay St. Louis both saying 90, and we are expecting lower and maybe close to mid 90s for highs. Here are those winds mostly from the north. Just a little bit of a breeze. As we know, if you get in the shade with that breeze and that slight break in humidity, it doesn't feel too bad, but it is going to be pretty hot as we head into this afternoon. And really every afternoon this week, no big changes are coming. We have surface high pressure out to our north, tiny bit of shower action over the Mississippi Sound off of our coastal spots in St. Bernard and Plaquemines, and not really looking for a lot of rain aside from maybe a stray shower here or there this week. Our cloud cover is there. You can see those clouds filtering in from the north. We have sunshine as well. A little bit drier feel, and our temperatures in the lower to middle 90s for highs. So rest of the afternoon looking fairly comfortable if you can find some shade, but also on the warm side, considering our average high is 88 right now at September 15th, the Ides of September. Tonight we're looking for North Shore lows where they've been in the upper 60s to about 70, lower 70s south. Overall, a nice feel for the evening and tonight. Precision cast going pretty quiet. You can see the mix of clouds and sun, but it does want to drum up a couple of showers. I'm not sure if we're going to see quite this much rain. In fact, we almost completely eliminated the rain chance from the forecast in the next few days, but we really can't rule out one or two completely kind of random stray showers popping up. But I don't even think we're going to see as much as this model suggests, as we are still under the influence of some high pressure to our north, which I'll show you in a second. This is for tomorrow, maybe a slightly higher chance, but still probably under 10% for our rain chance tomorrow, although it's not completely out of the question. We have an upper low out to our east, and really we've been mostly dominated by some high pressure to our north, and you can see this will shift a bit in the coming days through the end of this week off to the southwest. But really for our forecast, we're not going to see a whole lot of change as far as big swings in temperatures or rain chances, although at the end of the week and especially this weekend, we will at least have a slight chance for a couple of showers. So if you are looking for the rain, hoping for it, I mean, we have it up to 20% on Saturday and Sunday, so it's not super high, but at least a little bit of a better shot of a shower then. We continue with those high temperatures, lower 90s, probably 92 plus most days this week. And our average high at this point in the year, as I mentioned, is 88. One thing that we're looking for as we move into fall, of course, are the cold fronts, which we're not getting this week, but also just notice the daylight time is shortening every day. The hours of daylight gets shorter. I'm sure you've noticed the sunrise now at 6:46 a.m. and that sunset earlier and earlier at 7:06 for today's date. As we look at our map of how much daylight, or our chart of daylight through the year, here we are at almost September 21st. And of course, that daylight is going to be going down pretty fast as we get into fall. In the deep part of summer, it's over 14 hours of daylight every day. And in winter, when it gets low, it's only about 10 hours of daylight each day. So that's a big chunk, 4 hours between summer and winter, where you're just able to heat up more and more. Today we have about 12.3 hours of daylight for today's date. As for the first day of fall, it's only a week away. It'll be about 12 hours still. And then as we move toward November 2nd, that's when daylight saving time ends. We'll have about 10 or close to 11 hours. So that daylight going down, sunset by that time, of course, will be in the 5 o'clock hour, and sunrise 6:15. That's for that November time change, not there yet. In the tropics, here's our one spot starting to look a little bit better organized. The thing about this one, it might become a depression or even tropical storm Gabrielle by the end of the week, but it looks like it's going to take this now familiar path off to the north before it really gets close to certainly the U.S. and maybe even some Caribbean islands. We'll keep a lookout for those Caribbean islands, whether it will brush close by at the end of this week or this coming weekend. But we have zero threats here, so we're just going to go with it. Our 7-day forecast showing not hurricanes, but heat. The heat continues, but those morning lows are not bad. Upper 60s to lower 70s north to south of Lake Pontchartrain.
After the break, that email sitting in your inbox may not be a scam.